From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
A Broadwater County Sheriff's deputy killed in the line of duty is being remembered by deputies near Billings. What they're doing to keep the memory of Mason Moore alive is coming up at 6:32.
I'm Joe St. George in Atlanta. Are you someone who uses websites like Venmo and PayPal a lot, either to get pay or to repay your friends for buying you something? If you do, you may want to pay attention to a big tax change on the horizon that could impact your family. We go in depth next.
Good morning. It is Monday, and that is a beautiful view from our iCams. I love seeing Montana Hall lit up like that.
It really kind of reminds you that Christmas is right around the corner.
It is.
And yeah, it's starting to sink in.
And it's going to feel a little bit more like winter.
Like it hasn't the last few weeks, right? But we did have that weekend that really was pretty warm.
Yesterday was so warm. I was able to get outside, put our lights up, went and got a tree.
Just keep in mind, warm is relative. It was still only in the 30s for most of the area. And
it felt balmy.
It was balmy. Yeah. I didn't quite break out the bikinis yet. Temperatures into the 20s for the early morning. Expect temperatures to drop through the afternoon. Scattered snow showers expected through the day. I do expect to see some bands or pockets of heavier snow through the afternoon and evening. Temperatures for the afternoon expected to fall, especially in the Bozeman area through the middle to late part of the day, with scattered snow showers impacting the commutes. We'll talk more about what you can expect for the rest of the week coming up in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Matt. Well, it's been 5 years since a Broadwater County Sheriff's deputy was shot and killed in the line of duty near Three Forks. Mason Moore's family tells MTN that not a day goes by that his loss is not felt. This holiday season, several law enforcement agencies in Yellowstone County are rallying behind the family along with their canine companions. MTN's Haley Monaco explains.
Police officers from around the state are featured in the 2023 Mason Moore Foundation's calendar, and one is from right here in Laurel, Montana, with his very special partner.
He is probably the best partner I could ever ask for.
Laurel police officer Jackson Booth and his partner Colt, a 2.5-year-old Belgian Malinois canine officer, are grateful to be involved in this upcoming year's Mason Moore Foundation calendar.
It's always touched home with me at heart, so I feel really special to be a part of this.
Officer Booth was a freshman in college in 2017 when Broadwater County Deputy Sheriff Mason Moore was killed in the line of duty. The Mason Moore Foundation was created in honor of Deputy Moore to show love and support for law enforcement in Montana. And this isn't the first time Officer Booth has worked with the foundation.
So they donated, was able to give me donations to equip my vehicle to make sure Colt was safe every single day at work.
But this is both officers' first time being featured in the calendar, which raises money to provide equipment to law enforcement agencies across the state. Officer Booth and Canine Officer Colt are featured on October's page in the calendar with a list of stats, fun facts, and highlights for Colt.
He is always ready to work, always ready to put me and my partners ahead of himself, so it's really awesome to see him work every single day as best as he can. Being a part of the calendar is a special thing for me and the rest of the department. This is a very awesome Christmas gift, and it helps departments and officers such as me and Colt around the entire state.
In Laurel, Haley Monaco, MTN News.
Well, how often do you pay your friends on apps like Venmo or PayPal? Do you receive some income through these money-sending websites, perhaps for some part-time work? Well, if you do, you will want to listen up because there are major changes coming. There are tax changes that could affect those apps in 2022, which means that when tax season begins in a few weeks, you could be in for some changes and headaches. Our Joe St. George takes a look at who is impacted and why tax experts fear confusion is on the horizon.
Nothing is certain except death and taxes. Benjamin Franklin said that. Lucky for you, I'm not here to talk about death, but I am here to talk about taxes and helping you not make a grave mistake that could land you in trouble with the IRS in the coming weeks. What's the issue? Well, if you're like me, you send a lot of money to your friends through websites like Venmo and PayPal these days. You see, for years, Venmo, PayPal, Etsy, and others only reported transactions to the IRS when at least $20,000 was processed by an account user in a given year. That figure changed to $600 in 2022, a much lower amount. The change was made by President Biden when he signed the American Rescue Plan last year and is designed to catch some Americans who are not fully reporting their income. There is a push on Capitol Hill to delay this law, but so far that hasn't passed. Many Americans, from photographers to barbers, have been getting paid through these apps for years.
What's going through my mind is that we're going to have some difficult times come January of 2023.
Andrew Poulos is a tax professional in Atlanta. He says this upcoming tax season will be the first time a 1099-K form detailing these transactions is sent to so many Americans. You may get one. A copy of that form will be sent to the IRS, too.
The IRS isn't going to tax you for getting money from your friend because you paid for their pizza or for a birthday gift. But how are they going to differentiate that from actual income sent on Venmo or PayPal?
Well, that's the problem right there. Most people have probably never even heard of a 1099-K.
Poulos says that is why so many tax professionals are uneasy right now. He's predicting some inaccurate forms will create tax headaches. As a result, you should be prepared to prove that something was not income.
If you receive a 1099-K, don't ignore it and certainly don't throw it away.
Of course, if you actually did receive some income via Venmo or PayPal this year, now is the time you should prepare to pay your fair share.
Does this change make it easier for the IRS to catch people who haven't been reporting money?
Oh, absolutely.
In Atlanta, Georgia, I'm Joe St. George.
Okay, well, there are hundreds of kids in Montana. I'm not sure where we're going right now. Let's see. To this story, traffic deaths. The government estimates more people died in traffic crashes last year than at any other point over the last 15 years. It marks a trend as traffic deaths in the United States are steadily increasing. At the same time, highway deaths are decreasing in most other developed nations. Dan Grossman looks at why and what can be done to change it.
Well, thank you again for doing this.
Of course, yeah.
This interview is different than most you might hear from first responders like JD Chisholm.
Oh, the majority of the time, 99% of the time, we're first on scene.
It's because this interview removes the facade that these first responders aren't deeply impacted by the scenes they respond to.
There's times where you run calls that stick with you and they sit with you for a long time. In the last 2 months, there was that 100-car pileup right there at 6th Avenue in Santa Fe. We were there, and that was just, we had to cut out 6 different people utilizing the jaws of life, the cutters, the spreaders. We had to forcibly remove the vehicle so that we could get the patients out.
In 2020, a year when more people than ever stayed off the roadways due to the pandemic, the United States saw a 5% rise in its number of traffic deaths when compared to the previous 3-year average. It was only one of 3 developed nations that saw such a rise, when other countries like Sweden, France, and Italy all saw decreases of more than 23%.
Americans are now more likely to die on the roadways than residents of most other developed countries, which is a major crisis we should be talking about.
Yona Freemark is a researcher at the Urban Institute who studies this very matter. He says the issue comes down to a few things. First, Americans emphasize the use of personal vehicles more than any other nation. And not only that, we drive SUVs more than any other nation. The added height and weight make them deadlier. We also haven't taken many of the steps other countries have to prioritize safety rather than reducing congestion. Among them, tightening roadway lanes, using traffic circles, and strengthening traffic enforcement.
Right now, we have no requirements at the federal level that arterial highways that are built by state departments of transportation incorporate pedestrian safety features, minimize roadway traffic speeds or anything of that sort. That could produce even more fatalities in the coming years.
Here's an example. In 1993, people in the US and France were equally as likely to die in a traffic crash, whereas today, Americans are 3 times more likely to die in a crash than the French. And it's not only affecting us on the roads, it's affecting first responders who expose themselves each time they respond to a crash.
A good majority of our line of duty deaths in the history of the Denver Fire Department are related to some sort of traffic accident. When you look across the country, there are a significant amount of firefighters who are injured or killed on the scene of firefighters because of how extremely dangerous that environment is.
Moving forward, Yona says prioritizing safety features like traffic circles and speed enforcement can help cap the trend, if not reverse it. since the numbers show what we prioritize now has placed us in a category of our own. I'm Dan Grossman.
There are hundreds of kids in Montana who are looking for forever homes, waiting to be adopted. MTN's Diane Parker introduces us to one of them, a young boy named Tommy, in this morning's A Waiting Child.
This month, we're in Anaconda to meet a young man named Tommy who has a love of STEM learning, games, and animals.
Tommy is a very intelligent, smart boy. He is very good with tinkering with things and fixing things. He loves like STEM engineering activities. He's very creative, and he's always looking for a solution and a positive way to spin on any situation. He's very jovial and happy and fun.
Tommy is caring and compassionate and wants to find a new family to help him grow and learn.
My favorite subject at school is math. I like subtracting, I like dividing, I like learning more things, and I think that's the way I learn. I do love animals, and I would love to have a pet. Soon I'll be getting a goldfish. I'm gonna beta fish.
I really appreciate Tommy as a person because he brings me joy to my life. And he brings joy to other people's life, and he really cares about them.
It would kind of help me to get adopted and get an actual family that actually can take care of me. A good family would treat me with care, a lot of love. They take care of me, they inspire me, they tell me my weaknesses and strongnesses, and they help me be resilient.
He's gonna be great in a family because just as much as he needs them to look out for him, he's going to look out for them. And he is all about just loving on people and being a joy to be around.
In Anaconda, Diane Parker, MTN News.